and take it day by day. Some surprises come as well, so it is very important that you prepare for those surprises.
What's your go-to impression?
I've been working on my Trump. It's a lot of great people. Lots of great people on both sides. Excuse me. Fake reviews.
Melania just got hit with the scandal she did not sign up for. Jamie Foxx live on TV spilling Trump's most embarrassing secrets. Somewhere in Mar-a-Lago, a gold-plated lamp is in danger. Trump is fumbling for an excuse, and Melania probably regretting every life choice since 2005. Because when Jamie grabs a mic, no one is safe, and this time, he aimed the Donald himself. What did he say? Oh, you're gonna love this one.
Do you feel like you're in a different space now than you were 8 years ago?
I feel I was always me the first time as well. I just feel that people didn't accept me, maybe. They didn't understand me the way maybe they do now.
Before we move on, smash that like button and subscribe, because you know you don't want to miss out on this one. So there's Jamie Foxx sitting comfortably, probably cracking jokes about something totally unrelated, when suddenly, boom. The conversation takes a hard left turn straight into Trump territory. You know it wasn't planned or scripted, but when Jamie sees an opening, he takes it. The setup was innocent enough. Maybe a casual discussion about politics. Maybe just a playful jab at rich guys who can't dance.
You're an immigrant.
Yes.
Do you ever think he's gone too far?
I follow the law. I follow a law the way it's supposed to be. I never thought to stay here without papers. I had visa. I travel every few months back to the country, to Slovenia, to stamp the visa. I came back. I applied for the green card. I applied for the citizenship later on after many years of green card.
But then, someone mentioned Trump, and Jamie's whole face lit up like he just remembered the funniest inside joke of all time. And the next thing you know, he's off to the races, launching into one of the most brutal, most hilarious, most unfiltered roasts the world has ever witnessed. Now, Jamie Foxx isn't just some guy making fun of Trump. He's a walking, talking impersonation machine.
A lot of great people. Lots of great people on Bush. I love London. London falling down. I
just got to tell you that you might have met your match. Because I also do a Donald Trump impression. Jamie Foxx, the greatest Fox in the wilderness. Great guy.
Yes. Do you have the yell? There. You gotta get the yes.
He had the posture, the hand movements, and the ridiculous made-up words that Trump loves to throw into sentences. And the way he nailed that rambling, nonsensical speech pattern, perfection. You could actually feel the secondhand embarrassment radiating through the screen. The audience? Losing it. People were falling out of their seats, some wiping away tears of laughter, others looking around like, did he really just say that? Even the host, who was probably warned beforehand to keep things light, was caught in that nervous, oh no, we might get sued kind of laughter. And let's be real, nothing gets a bigger reaction than someone going off script on live TV.
I saw Chappelle somewhere. It was like, they were asking him about his jokes, and he's like, yo, man, look, people have said worse shit. And I think he said something about Donald Trump saying grab him by the pussy or some shit, whatever. But it was true. It was like the one thing that you look at what happened with politics this year, people sort of stripped away a lot of things. You know what I'm saying? Regardless of what you believed in, whatever person you voted for, there was a lot of things that was sort of addressed.
But here's where it got even better. Jamie wasn't just making an impression, he was dropping straight up facts. In the middle of the comedy, he started listing out actual Trump scandals, but in Trump's voice, which somehow made them sound even dumber than they already were. 1 second, he's mocking the way Trump brags about himself. The next, he's casually reminding the audience about business failures, shady deals, and weirdly specific spray tan choices.
2 years. Then I had to do dialysis for 5 hours.
Mr. Chappelle, thank you for being here.
Man, damn. Dave Chappelle, huh?
Then, the ultimate dagger. He hit Trump right where it hurts, the ego. Something about how nobody actually likes him, how people only laugh at his jokes because they're scared of getting fired, and how he's the first billionaire in history who can't successfully run a steak business. By that point, the crowd was fully out of control. The host, sensing the total meltdown, tried to shift gears. But Jamie wasn't done. He doubled down, throwing in an off-the-cuff story about a past Trump interaction, one so cringeworthy that you could practically hear Melania sighing from miles away. At that moment, somewhere in Mar-a-Lago, an emergency strategy meeting was probably being held. Because when Jamie Foxx starts roasting, you don't just lose the joke, you lose the whole room. And just when you thought Jamie was going to pull back, maybe throw in a harmless punchline and move on, nope. He went all in, and that's when the real bombshell started dropping. This wasn't just a comedy set anymore, it was a one-man expose with perfect comedic timing. The kind of roast that doesn't just sting at the moment, but lingers, festers, and makes people start asking questions Trump does not want asked.
Trying to give me the virus. I beat the virus. Why you say they trying to give me the virus? Like, who is they? And the motherfucker said, I beat the virus. They're like, fuck yeah! He beat it! Trump.
First up, the money. Or, more specifically, where it's been disappearing to. Because, let's be honest, Trump's finances are basically a Scooby-Doo mystery that no one seems to solve. Jamie threw out a joke about Trump's campaign funds working harder than his actual businesses, then casually dropped a line about how many legal fees does one guy need. That's the thing about comedy. It makes people laugh while sneaking in a brutal reality check. And then there was the family drama. Jamie, grinning ear to ear, imitated Trump's classic over-the-top bragging about his kids, except he accidentally forgot to mention Tiffany. Oops. The crowd erupted because even they know Trump treats Tiffany like she's the season finale plot twist he forgot about. Then came the Melania jabs. Something about how she only appears in public with him when the cameras are rolling and the divorce lawyers aren't. Somewhere, Melania probably let out the deepest, most exhausted sigh of her life. But the real mic drop moment? Jamie went for the one thing Trump can't stand. His tough guy image. Trump loves pretending he's a fearless warrior, a stable genius, the guy who never loses.
How stupid are they?
Jamie shattered that illusion in seconds. He started reenacting Trump's legendary bunker moment, the time he hid in the White House basement when protests got too loud. Except Jamie made it so much worse. He had Trump panicking, pacing in his gold-plated pajamas, stress-eating fast food like it was his last meal on Earth. The audience was howling because we all knew it was true, and that's the thing. This wasn't just a funny story. It was embarrassing in a way Trump couldn't ignore. That's the power of comedy. A joke can strip away the illusion faster than any serious investigative report. Jamie didn't have to dig through documents or subpoena anyone. He just held up a mirror and let Trump's absurdity do the rest. So did Jamie confirm something new? Not exactly, but he did something even worse for Trump. He made people see the ridiculousness of it all. He turned Trump into a walking punchline. And for a guy who thrives on being feared, that's the worst thing that could happen. Because once the audience is laughing at you instead of with you, the show's over. And somewhere in Mar-a-Lago, Melania was done. Not the usual, I'm silently plotting my escape kind of done. This time, she reportedly lost it.
Then for 3 days, I was this dude. There's a lot of great nurses. I see the blacks. I like the blacks. They're hungry. They're eating dogs. The Haitians sock passe. Naboule. They're eating dogs. I like the nurses. I like them. They like me. I like them. I have a huge black following. There's another black. Oh, Puerto Rican, same shit. Kamehameha Harris. I love Kamehameha. What's her name? Kamala. I love Kamala.
Because, let's be real, she has endured years of scandals, lawsuits, and late-night Twitter meltdowns with the patience of a highly compensated hostage. But this one hit differently. Maybe it was the way Jamie effortlessly tore down Trump's whole image while she had to spend years pretending he was an incredible leader. Maybe it was the humiliation of being dragged into yet another mess, forced to stand by a man whose main love language is lawsuits and self-promotion. Or maybe, just maybe, it was the realization that no amount of carefully planned distance could protect her from the fact that she was forever tied to this circus. The staff reportedly heard shouting, which in Mar-a-Lago is usually just Trump yelling at the help for bringing Diet Coke at the wrong temperature. But this time, it was her. And that is rare. This is a woman who can sit through Stormy Daniels headlines, access Hollywood tapes, and inexplicably bad spray tans without flinching. But Jamie Foxx impersonating Trump, hiding in a bunker, that sent her over the edge? That's the part that's truly poetic. So what happened next? Did she confront him? Did she throw another expensive designer bag across the room?
Think that the world, and especially United States, is more divided than ever before. We are dealing with much more danger, and especially we see what's going on the world and the threats that we get, and my husband, what he went through in the last few months.
Because let's be honest, this isn't about love or loyalty, it's about brand management. And Melania's brand is high fashion, cold glares, and pretending she never signed up for this. Sources claim that she's furious at being dragged back into the mess, because nothing ruins a first lady's quiet luxury lifestyle like having her husband become an even bigger national joke. She's been playing the long game, keeping her distance, showing up just enough to keep the checks coming. But now, she might need a new strategy. The real question isn't whether she's mad, it's what she does next. Does she double down and do another awkwardly forced public appearance to pretend everything's fine? Does she vanish back into her carefully curated bubble, only emerging for Tiffany's wedding photos or the nuclear option? Does she finally cut the cord? Because if there was ever a moment to cash out, this might be it. And while Melania was reportedly fuming behind closed doors, Trump was doing what Trump does best, losing his mind in real time.
They're biased, and they have likes and dislikes, and it's so obvious. And I think American people and everyone see it. It was their decision, and I have much more important things to do, and I did in the White House than being on the cover.
Because in Trump's world, if he just says something isn't real enough times, it magically stops existing. So, did he hear Jamie Foxx's roast? Of course not. Never happened. Didn't see it. Didn't hear it. Don't even know who Jamie Foxx is. Which is funny because just a few months ago, he was probably calling Jamie a tremendous talent and one of the greats. But now Jamie's a washed-up nobody, a radical leftist puppet, and, if Trump gets desperate enough, probably an FBI informant. But denial was never going to be enough. So here came the next step. Attack. And what better place to launch an unhinged tirade than his own sad little corner of the internet? Truth Social? Sure enough, the all-caps rage posts started flying. A barely coherent rant about fake news, radical Hollywood, and total loser Jamie Foxx, who is jealous of me just like all the others. At least 3 words were misspelled, a few sentences trailed off mid-thought, and because Trump can never resist, he found a way to bring up 2020 like it was even remotely relevant. Then came the classic victim card.
Honestly, some of the people around there say, let's not get political, but Jamie Foxx did the worst impression of me that I've ever heard. A terrible Trump.
It wasn't that bad.
It was so bad.
A lot of times people say it's bad, but it was actually the best impersonation of me that I've ever done of me.
Jamie, it was a disaster.
And I wasn't even there.
Jamie, the saying, Ray could have actually seen how bad it was.
To be honest with you, Stevie Wonder said it was amazing. Do you believe that blind guy or the other blind guy?
You know what? He's a nasty
There's a lot of great people.
He's a nasty, pathetic...
Because Trump is never just attacked. He's persecuted. Never just criticized. They fear me. Suddenly, this wasn't about Jamie Foxx making fun of him on live TV. No, this was part of a grand conspiracy. The Hollywood elites, the deep state, the FBI, and probably windmills were all working together to destroy him. And if you listen closely, you could probably hear his lawyers sighing deeply in the background. Now, normally, this is where Fox News and his MAGA influencers would jump in for damage control, scrambling to twist reality into something more flattering. But this time, silence. Absolute radio silence. What exactly were they supposed to say? Jamie Foxx is wrong. Trump is actually very cool and brave, and he never panics in a crisis. Even for them, that was a tough sell. Instead, they probably did what they always do when Trump embarrasses himself too badly. But that's the thing about comedy, it spreads fast. Trump's usual tricks weren't working because people weren't just talking about it. They were laughing at him. And if there's one thing Trump hates more than losing, it's being the punchline. The problem with this scandal isn't just that it happened, it's that it's sticking.
I love Snoop D.O. Double G, great person.
So do you love Death Row Records?
I love
People on
Death
both
Row.
sides.
I love Death. Excuse me. Fake news.
Where's the outrage from his usual defenders? Where's the flood of MAGA influencers rushing to call Jamie Foxx a deep state operative or part of the woke agenda? Nowhere, because even they know this one is too embarrassing to touch. And then there's Melania. Poor Melania. She's been playing the long game, keeping her public appearances to a bare minimum, staying far enough away to avoid the worst of his scandals, but close enough to maintain her legal standing in the will. But now, this is getting messy. She's reportedly furious, embarrassed, and maybe even rethinking her next move. Does she disappear even further into the Mar-a-Lago shadows? Does she suddenly go on an unexplained vacation that just so happens to last several months? Or does she use this as leverage, another renegotiation of the infamous prenup? Because if anyone knows how to capitalize on a Trump screw-up, it's Melania. And let's not forget the political angle. With Trump still trying to claw his way back into the White House, the last thing he needs is more public humiliation.
They trying to get him the virus. Like, who is they? And the motherfucker said, I beat the virus. They were like, fuck yeah! He beat it! Motherfucker Trump, boy.
Within days, Foxx was already dropping more jokes about Trump's meltdown, whether it was mocking his all-caps Truth Social rants or doing yet another hilariously spot-on impression of Trump trying to sound like he's in control. And social media? Oh, it was chaos. Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, every platform was flooded with reactions. Some people were doubling over laughing at Jamie's savage takedown, while others, the die-hard MAGA crowd, were in full meltdown mode. Because nothing shatters the illusion of strong leadership quite like being the punchline of the week. And let's talk about Trump's fans for a second. They were scrambling, trying to spin this into a massive Hollywood conspiracy. Suddenly, Jamie Foxx wasn't just a comedian, he was a deep state puppet, a tool of the liberal elites, a secret agent for the Biden administration. Because in their world, nothing bad ever happens to Trump unless the entire universe is actively conspiring against him. Meanwhile, everyone else was just enjoying the show. Late-night hosts were piling on, celebrities were reposting the clip, and political commentators were pointing out the obvious. Trump doesn't know how to laugh at himself. And that's the thing. Most politicians take a joke and move on.
That's a lot of great people. Lots of great people on both sides. I did it again. I'm just kidding. You ran the thing back on y'all, didn't you? Lots of great people. I like the people.
But Trump? He has to turn every minor insult into an existential battle. And Jamie knew it. He knew Trump couldn't resist responding, and that made it even funnier. So every time Trump tried to deny it, attack, or shift the blame, Jamie had more material to work with. And what about Trump's supporters? Will they try to rewrite history and pretend Jamie Foxx was never funny? Will they claim this is part of some Hollywood deep state takedown effort, as if comedians haven't been roasting politicians for centuries? At the end of the day, this is just another absurd chapter in the ongoing Trump circus. But the difference? This one stings. Because when you become the punchline, even your most loyal followers start to wonder if the joke's on them.